When someone tries to give you a powerless identity, you have the power to refuse that. If no other power, this is what I would call the foundational power. Václav Havel wrote a really sublime essay on this, if you really want to dive into it, called Power of the Powerless. And his premise, he was what was referred to as a dissident in the old Soviet Union era, so many years ago. He was living in what at the time was Czechoslovakia, and he was a playwright, and he wrote this essay which put forward this idea that the fundamental power we all have, even when the state or the government takes away everything from us, is to refuse to accept who they're telling us we are. And so in the case of the reality he was living in, he was talking about how the oppressed, so you're being oppressed by the government, but the government asks you as an oppressed person to repeat the government's line about yourself. That also turns you into an oppressor at the same time. So instead of thinking of oppressed over here and oppressor over there, that maybe we have a line that goes through us, that we are both oppressed and oppressing at the same time, which is an interesting concept, right? So that's the core building block to refusing powerlessness, is understanding that you can both have people with more power than you and people with less power than you, right? Which means you must have power, right? So you can be exercising power and doing damage to people subconsciously because someone above you, let's say, you perceive as having more power is damaging you. So this is like a long way of saying that the conscious understanding of who you are and what your identity is, and refusing to allow other people to tell you what that is the core. It's like the seed of all of our powers, right? And so self-awareness, connection to purpose, like this is where we're going to start to be able to stand in our power.